Hey YouTube, it's the Morning Brew. Happy Throwback Thursday. Ironically, again, well, this I purposely picked up a Scooby-Doo mug, but NES cartridge, ironically worn yesterday, so all means I wear it today for the show. Have a couple of things to bring up before we get to the news, before we get to the daily stuff. First off, very proud of my youngest daughter Madison, because she pointed out the hair today is doing some kind of Wolverine thing. As a geeky dad, for her to pull out that reference out of nowhere, perfect. Very proud of her for that one. Second, if you watched yesterday's video, which I don't think many people have because it came up pretty late, Roxio's video wave software, which I use, sucks. It for some reason decided that the last 4-minute clip of this video, of yesterday's video, was just not editable. It wouldn't do anything with it, no matter what I tried. I even tried fooling the program and believing that it was an overlay on top of a black image, and at first it let me edit it, it let me do everything I wasn't able to do before as a raw video, but then when I came to rendering the video, it just wouldn't go kaput. So now I've made a point to keep the videos shorter so that I don't have to deal with multiple clips, and of course I just hope that today's video goes up. So yesterday's video did go up, it just went up really late. And speaking of yesterday's video, on top of everything else, Averil Lavigne is back in the news. Now, yesterday I talked about her video, which hopefully, once again, it's playing right here. Hello Kitty, which is a J-pop inspired music video with J-pop inspired song, which I didn't say she was racist. I don't believe I did. I just said, you know, didn't think she was still around. Thought we were done with her. But apparently we're not. But many people did take to the streets to say, or the Twitter streets to say she's racist and it's wrong and blah 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 blah. Not racist, somewhat offensive, and if you're that sensitive. I say for J-pop fans, it's a dead-on video. It just happens to be a really sucky artist with a really sucky song. Which that really sucks. Anyways. She took to Twitter to say things like, ha 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 ha, I'm not racist at all. Followed up with, and I have to read this because it is a ridiculously long thing. I specifically flew into Japan, Tokyo, for my Japanese, just for my Japanese fans specifically, with my Japanese label, and my Japanese choreographer, and Japanese director in Japan, just for the Japanese. That's like when you call a white person racist and they say, hell no, I've got plenty of black friends. I mean, there's my mailman, there's a guy who, you know, my supervisor, all black, they're my friends. It just comes off wrong. I don't know if she is racist or not. I really don't care. I just think it's funny that she had to point out Japanese this and Japanese that. Again, why are we even... I just think it's funny that we deal with her, period. The Japanese want her so bad, keep her. I say that's as good as it gets. The French wanted, what's his face? Oh God, I can't remember. That's the fun for the kids, and my brain's fried. I say Japan, you can keep Averil Lavigne. She's like the one white girl nobody wants around here. There's one of quite a few white girls nobody wants around here. If you're interested, we'll do a 2-for-1 deal. You send us Miyamoto on a permanent basis, we'll throw in Miley Cyrus for free, tongue and all, including giraffe-looking face and raw chicken-looking ass. Completely free. Just give us Miyamoto. We'll be totally happy. He'll be treated like the king around here. In other news, talking about stuff from the 80s, Miyamoto. Andy Warhol has new art, or at least we found art from Andy Warhol. Thanks to Corey Archangel, who apparently, while watching a YouTube clip of an old Commodore Amiga commercial, had Andy Warhol messing around with it and doing some artwork. Apparently, and hopefully I have the images up here, they found that Andy Warhol did have some digital art out there. In fact, it was a couple of floppy disk worth of art. The Andy Warhol Museum uncovered this after Corey's suggestion that Andy had a computer. He must have had discs lying around somewhere. Granted, they did. They looked for them, they found them, stashed away in like a hidden treasure. We have more Andy Warhol art. I think it's pretty cool. You pulled a Tupac on us, although not intentionally. Of course, the images are free for everyone to view. Watching this video, you probably are seeing them now. I am actually quite a fan of Andy Warhol's art. His work was fantastic. He broke ground in ways that other artists were not taking risk with. And I think that's what made Andy stand out the most, was that he didn't care what the status quo had to say about his art. He cared about what he wanted to make, not even what the fans or his followers wanted. It's whatever Andy felt was right for him. Andy Warhol's a great inspiration for a lot of people. I love artists, and he's a great inspiration to me, to be honest. Many people don't know this, but I actually did do a lot of graphic design and painting back in my youth. And some of my stuff did get recognition and notoriety when I was living in Mexico. Not much, but enough for me to warrant a, hey, I did that. And so for me, it's one of those things where I admire the man for always following what he felt was right. The same thing with when I do this show. I do this because I want to do it, and I feel like I can entertain you. And for all 7 of you, by the way, thanks to that new subscriber that recently subscribed as of yesterday, I do this because I want to. I don't do this because anyone's paying me. God knows nobody's paying me. And I don't do this to impress anyone. I do this because I want to. The same thing with my website. My overhead is very small, so I can keep doing this as some people might call it a hobby. I feel like it's just exercising my brain and putting out my opinion as I feel fit. So, to Andy Warhol's new art display, I say yay! Bring it on. I love that stuff. Although the Campbell's soup one wasn't very good. I've seen better art from a 5-year-old. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just Andy Warhol has done better. But then again, you got to remember that he did The Birth of Venus, a 3-art version of The Birth of Venus, with the Commodore Amiga, and did an amazing job considering the limitations he had. I couldn't do that with what I have now, and I've got Photoshop Master Edition, and I couldn't do that. So quite impressive, quite the feat, quite the Warholness to it. So, if you're a fan of Andy Warhol, of course, look up the museum. Don't know if the images will be touring or if they're just going to put them online since they are digital art. I'm sure prints will be available, although I don't foresee them, being too sought out, considering that they're not. They technically don't exist. They're code. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can just go ahead and get the image and print them into whatever format they want. It's not the same as an actual painting where, Andy had to touch the canvas and had to put the paint in the right place. It's like the images don't really exist if it isn't for the fact that the computer's translating them into an image that we can view on the display. So, in all technicality, whoever does buy these, they're buying code that could easily be manipulated and altered, copied and destroyed. So it's an interesting take. We'll see what happens. It is, of course, a new age of art and new age of everything, as we say. Anyways, speaking of new things, if you're a video game fan like I am, and if you're a fan of the Spyro game series like I am, then you're familiar with Skylanders. And if you're familiar with Skylanders, then you have a giant hole in your wallet. Why? Because it's expensive. It is an expensive hobby to have. And guess what? Because it's that time of year, and October is coming, and that means the holiday season will be creeping up right after, Skylanders Trap Team has been announced. It's that time of year, and of course, I will probably get a chance to play it at San Diego Comic-Con, but Trap Team is the newest addition to the Skylanders franchise. We've had Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. We've had Skylanders Giants, which I have. And we've had Skylanders Swap Force, which I also have. Well, now the 4th version of it is coming out, which is Trap Team. Now, granted, excuse me, stupid timers. Okay, dang it. Sorry, that I have a freaking timer here to keep me focused on keeping time. My time is to make sure I don't go over 20 minutes. And of course, the screen locks up right in the middle of the countdown, which I'm trying to keep an eye on as I'm doing this. So please forgive me for the distraction. That was a distraction. Anyways, so Trap Team is the newest edition. Of course, Giants brought in the 6 Giants from every element in the game. Is it 6? Or is it 8? I can't remember. Half more. I think it's 7. I'm going to say 7. So you had to buy a whole new pack of buy a new pack with starters because you needed a larger portal so that you could fit Giants, your Skylanders, and then the items. Then basically you had to buy all new characters. Then when Swap Force came out, you had to buy all the Swap Force specific characters because those were interchangeable body types between them. Also, all new versions of characters you already knew, loved, and had. And then of course, now we've got 100 new things to buy. It will come with 60 new heroes and 40 new trappable villains. That's the trick. The new portal is needed because you have a little thing in the front that accepts a trapping crystal, which once you defeat a boss, you can drop a crystal specifically designed for them, and I know it's specifically designed for them because I saw the fact that you can trap chaos now. The interesting part is, these figures are about $10 a piece. They're well done. They're cute. I like them. I like collecting them and enjoy the games for the most part. But we have so many of them now that I've lost track of which ones are powered up and which ones are not. And I'm going to tell you right now that most likely I'm not going to buy this one. I think I'm going to stop. But what I will say is, if you're going to buy your kids a toy/video game setup, don't buy Disney Infinity. Disney Infinity is terrible. People last year were, trying really hard frantically to figure out which one they wanted to buy. I'm going to say this. The Skylanders version is going to be the overall cheaper one. For one, the Disney Infinity figures can range between $11.99 and $14.99. Skylanders range from $9.99 to $11.99. Second, Infinity has these wonderful things called disc that can be either power-ups or entire worlds. Skylanders don't. You can buy bundle packs that come with worlds, power-ups, and new characters if you choose. In Infinity, if you don't have the right world for the right character, you can only play in the sandbox, limiting your experience depending on your budget. So, I don't know how much Trap Team's going to go into that. When I do know more about it, I will obviously let you all know. But for now, if you're looking for an option, Skylanders is the way to go. There's cheaper versions of them. The problem with Skylanders is going to be that if you're into the more collectible side of it, you're going to be in trouble. Reason why is that there is exclusive Skylanders to Toys R Us, exclusive Skylanders to Walmart, and exclusive Skylanders to regions and holidays. I know because I own a few of those. I own what my wife refers to as the Charger color ones, which are the Elites, which are just gold and blue versions of regular characters. I own a couple of the glow-in-the-dark ones. I own a few of the transparent ones. And then there's a few of them that I don't own that are like, the Santa Claus themed or Halloween themed and so on and so forth that I just not bothered with. Like I said, if you're a parent trying to find a decent option for your kid, Skylanders is the way to go. Just remember that it is going to cost you quite a bit. And it's going to be hard on the wallet throughout the year. And we own way too many Skylanders. Because in the end, it turns out my wife, myself, and the kids all want different ones. Not even for playing the game, but just have them for the heck of it. So, with that, it comes down to the end of the news because I got about 5 minutes before the video craps. At least I hope it doesn't. So if you do get to see this on time, thank you for tuning in. As per usual, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. Till next time, till tomorrow. Happy Friday if I see you tomorrow. But until then, enjoy your brew. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the end of the video. I really appreciate every minute you spend with me. So here's the other thing I need from you. I need you to click the subscribe button. I need you to click on those playlists down there, the Nerd Block, the Morning Brew playlist, of course Late Night Rants, which I know I haven't gotten around too much, but I will, I promise. And of course, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, hit up geekycastillo.com. I write some great articles and reviews, and I'm constantly trying to interact with you. That's all I'm asking for. A little click, a little tickle, maybe get a pickle.